Hello, Taurus. It is Haley with Tarot from Beyond, here to provide you with your October 2018 general reading. Very interested to see what the universe has in store for you for October. New month, new beginning. I know that many of you have been following me, have been thinking about things from a different perspective, which has set many of you free, and I'm so glad that you were able to experience that, as it will do nothing but assist in your future. And with that being said, let's do a few more shuffles and get right into it, Taurus. Thank you so much for you guys' support. For those of you who are interested in stones or a private reading or in making any donations, you can go to my website and it's the Book Your Reading Now button that will take you to PayPal. And that is exactly where you would be able to make your donations, purchase your stones, and book your readings. As of now, I am booked all the way up until Wednesday. So for those of you who would like a reading this week, I recommend that you go ahead and book your readings ASAP so that you can get in for this week. The week of the full moon. These readings are going to be very powerful for you guys. So I really recommend that if you feel compelled to get a reading, that you just go for it. I really do. And please don't think I'm being a salesman. I hate when people think that, but, you know, I can't control people's thoughts. So with that being said, my lovely Taurus, let's begin. The Page of Wands, the Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords, Four of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the World. First and foremost, I want you to look at those last two cards. These last two cards are what the universe wants for you. Let me move this so that you can see all of the cards. And this is what you're also working toward. The world represents a rebirth. A rebirth. And if you notice, each cycle of the moon is a rebirth. Which is likely why I said what I said in the beginning of the reading. Sometimes I don't even realize why I'm saying what I'm saying, but it's spirit speaking. And I am just obedient and channeling. So with that being said, a lot of you are working towards your financial abundance and financial independence and being able to not only have money, but being able to manage it. However, there are some people in your life that are stealing from you, and it's in the form of swords, which means that they are stealing spiritual things from you, stealing your, thought process toward what you're capable of and what you're not capable of, and what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. They are constantly, trying to get you to believe that you are incapable. And then when that happens, it creates a sense of depression because you're like, wait a minute, I love you. Why are you doing this? And then it makes you put your head up against that tree and then ignore love for self and ignore the love of others who want to give it to you. And it doesn't allow you to go ahead and give the love to those who deserve it. And so many of you are at a place right now where you're like, well, what do I do? What do I do? This is a messenger of work. And Spirit is saying, set those boundaries with those people. Set those boundaries. Let them know if they come any closer, you're in the correct position to let them know what time it is. Taurus, that's what's up. Now let's keep talking. A lot of you are getting onto your pure white horse to go ahead and fill that cup of love up with yourself. I mean, isn't it ironic that it came in the same column? See, some of you are ignoring love for self, but you're being advised by Spirit to get on that pure horse of yours. You're a pure person who understands that you're a fallible human being of which you are allowed to be. However, you do have virtue, you do have honor, and you do have loyalty, and you do have wonderful qualities about you. And there's a river right there. But some of you may not be able to recognize it. For you to go ahead and fill that cup of love up for yourself so that you have more than enough for yourself and for those who need it around you. No need for depression. I recommend that one of your intentions with this new moon is to release any depression that you may have. Say, it's not mine, I don't want it, and I release it. And I believe that it's been released. Poof, be gone. It is so. Because carrying this depression around and all of those thoughts that whomever you're dealing with is trying to get you to believe, it's a burden. And see, everybody has their own burdens to carry, but this person not only wants you to carry, your own burdens, they want you to carry their burdens as well. And that's a very selfish act. And so you're looking out into the world like, well, what do I do about this? What do I do? That's what I feel a lot of you saying. But the Judgment card means something has to end in order for something to begin. And what needs to begin is love for self. In a very dynamic way. And the thing about this is that it comes with a journey. And I made this, I made this example with the Sagittarius reading. So if you have a sun, moon, or rising in Sagittarius, I recommend that you watch that reading. Everything comes with a journey. I mean, even from going to the grocery store, making sure that you have your purse or your wallet and making sure that you have the appropriate credit card inside of it. And then making sure that you get in your car and that you have enough gas to get to the grocery store. Making sure that you calculate everything properly so that what you put in your basket you can pay for when you get to the front register. And then putting everything, all those bags in your car, and making sure they get into your house. And then you bring everything into your house and put everything in your refrigerator. Everything comes with a journey. And so don't get frustrated with the journey associated with understanding love for self, because that is one of the hardest things that it took me to learn. Me, personally. That people work really hard to try to crack that hard shell around you, that strength that was given to you for a reason. They work very hard at trying to convince you that you ain't strong at all, when that couldn't be further from the truth. And your intuition already told you this. So therefore, I know that many of you understood what I just explained, and I am so grateful for that. A lot of you are simply exhausted from some of the past experiences that you've had, in relationships. It's like, why is it that I'm constantly over here giving? And, I can't seem to find somebody else who's willing to give me what it is that I'm willing to give them. Well, there is something internal going on. We all have something internal going on. However, it depends on how much time that you take within to try to find out whatever that thing is. And for those of you who need assistance, I recommend you book your private readings as soon as you can. This month, look forward to a new way of perceiving things and a new way of looking at things so that things benefit you in the purest form. You're getting ready to have a new form and a new way of perceiving information and perceiving things. And that is going to change the way that you feel when you look out into the world and say, well, what do I do? You're going to know exactly what to do. So look forward to that in October, because that's what's going to happen, Taurus. You guys are working on trying to develop your spiritual, your spiritual selves. And when you do that, I promise you, the universe is going to support you 400 times over. And you're going to get exactly what you're working hard for. And what you're working hard for is being able to understand things, spiritual things, so that you can apply them to the earthly realm. So Taurus, get ready for that also in October. I don't care what it looks like now. That is exactly what's getting ready to happen. So many of you are being told to stay focused and self-disciplined with regards to your shadow side. We all have a shadow side, which is a side of ourselves that can be very cutthroat and very like, I ain't tolerating you at all, and I'll cut you deep with what I have to say about your behavior. And Spirit is advising that you don't do that. And the reason for that is because A, even if you say what it is that you want to say, it's not going to raise this person's IQ in any way, shape, or form. And B, it's only going to make you feel awful. Now, yes, there is a way to explore your shadow side, but it's not through the process of hurting other people, even if what you are saying is the truth. So make sure that you stay focused and self-disciplined with the way that you respond to other people, no matter how they respond to you. A lot of you have put a lot of hard work into somebody else, something else, to the point where it's actually caused injury to some degree. Look at his head. He has a wrap over his head, like he's hurt himself with all of that work that he's put himself into. He's put so much work into something, but the problem is that he shouldn't be putting in all that work in by himself. So some of you are in relationships with somebody who's not doing a thing but kicking their feet up while you're the one over here working your butt off trying to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. Why I recommend, as a spiritual guidance counselor, that you drop those wands and say, I ain't working no more for this. For what? All it's going to result in is a burden. And I have my own burdens that I'm carrying. Why am I sitting here and acquiring your burdens one by one? Understand, I'm talking to my Taurus who are light workers. And I'm trying to help you guys understand how to drop those burdens so that you can pick up your blessings, which come with intuition, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, financial abundance, and all of the things that you've envisioned yourself having. And closing you out, Taurus, you know what to do, so get on your horse and do it. No more procrastination. But guess what? Every time you get on your horse to do something, there's somebody with a sharp tongue that's got something to say, and somebody coming against you, and they have no validation for what they're doing. But guess what? Let them ride their horse right into the desert where there is no water whatsoever for them or their horse, and they're going to exhaust themselves. So let them. Because if you don't give them any attention, guess what? They're going to ride up on you like they got something to say. And then once you go ahead and turn around like, what? How can I help you? You know what they're going to do? They're going to stop and be like, oh, And you're going to be like, exactly. Can you please go find something else to do? Pay no attention to those people who are trying to play mind games. With that being said, I am closing this reading. And for those of you who are interested in a private reading, I am not hard to